shit, that's great. You guys know what you're gonna say, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Alright. Ready?
Yep.
Yep. On this episode of the Culture Smash Cast,
3 down, 1 to go. Iron Fist has a showrunner.
The Walking Dead's Daryl gets bit.
And the Franco brothers are tearing me apart. In other news, how's your sex life, Dwayne?
I was expecting that.
It's from the room.
Oh, yeah.
And the
Nothing.
joke is explained in
Which-
Ted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's his way to say that impression wasn't good enough.
that's true.
And but not enough about me. How's your sex life? Better? Okay, good. Now you need to do.
Alright, here we go. So I messed up the date because I'm stupid like that. Alright. I own it. It's the Culture Smash Cast, episode 386 for December 9th, 2015. I'm Stephen Lackey, editor of CultureSmash.tv.
Nicholas Qualls, contributor to CultureSmash.tv.
Dwayne Bate, contributor to CultureSmash.tv.
Mike Young, contributor to CultureSmash.tv.
Catherine Holder, contributor to CultureSmash.tv.
Nathan Savino, contributor to CultureSmash.tv.
Why are you off camera?
Well, you can sit for a minute and do your intro because we're going to talk about social.
Zach Martin, contributor to CultureSmash.tv.
So, Catherine, what are you having to drink?
Oh, okay. My delicious beverage tonight is a social. We need to make up a jingle for her.
We do.
That's what we need to do. That's phase number 2.
Social.
By the way, this is a sparkling sake that comes in a beautiful can that is gluten-free, GMO-free, completely organic, only 88 calories, 4% alcohol. Right now, I am drinking hibiscus cucumber.
The can is gluten-free?
Yes, the can's gluten-free.
The stuff inside it is too.
Oh.
I'm having,
Convenient.
Mike and I are both having toasted coconut almond.
And there we go.
Quite tasty.
And they're both quite tasty. So
You
it is
like
socialenjoyments.com, hashtag live social, hashtag drink clean, and you can follow them on Instagram and Twitter at 88social.
The drink that makes you talk.
So I think the next thing that nice. Slogan boy. The next thing we should do is when you buy the boxes that have recipe mixers, we should get some
We should do that one time.
and stuff.
Yeah.
I know you hate vodka, but that's one of the ones that they use. But I think there's a rum one too, right?
There's also a whiskey one,
Well,
toasted coconut and what did she say it was? Weller, maybe? Can't remember.
That might be choked. That might be
We should have a social Chumbawamba night where we make a whiskey drink and a lager drink.
I should have known
The
that.
better the mix, the better the dialogue.
He drinks a song that reminds him of
But
bad
doing
times.
commercials.
I wish
You're
that
Commander Cody
reminds him
now.
of the best time.
One drink of gin,
So
one
we're
drink
gonna
of social, and lost the meals only.
I'm gonna change this subject because this is going to really work.
We're advertising.
So we Nico already prematurely unboxed his.
Nico's
I
always
hear that's a
premature.
problem. I hear Nico's premature unboxing is a
Yeah, Tina, his
So-
girlfriend.
This week, if you don't know it, you should know. The Marvel Phase 2 limited edition box has come out, and it's packaged in what is this? The ball called?
It's the power gem. It's the
Power Jam.
yeah. In Guardians of the Galaxy, it's the gem that everyone's the MacGuffin that everyone's going after in the entire movie.
So we are gonna unbox this thing and show you guys what you get for your 190 something. Oh, is there more tape?
It's a good thing that Nico pre-gamed it.
Yeah. If you follow Nico on Facebook, you can see like.
And you were making fun of me, and it's like, yeah, I know how to open the box.
One thing that
That's what she said.
yeah. One thing that's misleading about this is it's like 13 disc collection, but it's because each movie has two
Fire
copies.
today.
Yes, each movie has the Blu-ray and the 3D Blu-ray version.
And the 3D Blu-ray version.
Yes.
That's impressive.
Wait, is 3D still a thing?
Yeah.
Are they still trying to
And
make that
there
work?
is also a bonus disc in the set as well.
Which is one of the things I'm most excited to take a look at because it's just There's not any shorts this time, is there?
Oh, you mean like the
Singers?
yeah, like this funny thing happened on the way to Thor's hammer. That's what, I haven't watched the bonuses yet, so I do not know if there are any shorts. I don't think there are, though. I think that would have mentioned. But I have gone ahead and rewatched Ant-Man last night. It was still a lot of fun again.
Ant-Man was enjoyable.
Yep.
I still haven't seen Ant-Man.
It's just kind of enjoying to get out. It's really well padded in terms of
Which is
all the-
great, because this is actually a custom designed piece of art.
Unlike the Phase 1, which came in a briefcase, which kind of makes sense for holding things. This is in.
pretty cool.
Is that, can we do
Yeah,
that now?
Done with that.
So
Yeah.
how does this baby open?
Okay, so this is the orb. You twist it, opens up. Little instruction guide.
Yeah.
Basically, this is the base. There's a button on the inside.
So
right
just like
here.
the previous box, you can light the.
You can take this out.
You do the thing like the other one. You just smack it and it blinks.
You don't smack it. Actually, just a button you can turn on, but you can take it out and replace the batteries if they ever go out.
Oh, that's fun.
That's kind of more boring than the cube in a way, though. I would like this. Yeah. What is this?
This is the actual gym itself.
I
They
see. So
keep
the
it
light goes
separate.
to the gym.
Yeah, so you turn it on. The gym on, so it glows.
Nice. Oh, that's pretty sweet.
It is pretty cool.
So if you hold it for too long, do you start getting powers, and then do you say we're the freaking Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah, have you tried that yet?
I haven't held it for too long yet.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Unlike
It
some other
just,
things.
It just sits on the base.
Right, so
Yeah.
Everybody got it.
We should probably point out, in case viewers are confused like Catherine, it's only a replica of the power gem.
It's not the
Oh,
They're not going to
it's
mass
not the
produce and
real
trust
thing?
the general
Yeah.
public
Right
real
here.
thing.
I'm
You
all
sure?
about the base.
Yeah.
So on the camera right now is the
Oh, this
actual
is the
base.
biggest ball out of my
On the base that the orb sits on, and that's actually where the movies are.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know this until I got it.
I was kind of wondering where the movies were going to be.
You
Yeah, so
have
it's
cases
in a slot
for
there.
Iron Man 3,
And these are just like the cases from
Thor: The
previous
Dark World.
movies.
Yeah, it's the same kind of art
Similar.
style that was
Similar.
in the Phase 1 box set. Cap,
Oh my god,
Avengers
upside down.
upside down for some reason. Little Guardians, Avengers, Ant-Man, which also came out the same day as the set. Ant-Man
Yeah.
and this came out the same day. And Thanos graces the bonus disc set.
Still sitting in that damn chair.
As he should be.
It looks like a coffee
When you're that powerful, you don't have to.
Actually,
That's why he said he's going to do it himself.
The really
Sit more in the
thing
chair.
about this one is the case is actually folded better than in mine. And the reason for that is because in mine, you can see on the,
What are we
you
doing?
can see when that's a cube, when I say you can see, the camera should always be pointing to
It's
something.
true,
behind it.
yeah.
Tell him
Uh,
this. Don't put up with this
You
crap.
can see how the spines of the little Blu-ray cases are pretty flush on this one. Mine, they're just cardboard and card stock, so they weren't folded as well. So some of them are kind of folded on top of that, so they
Oh,
don't show.
that's annoying.
Yeah, but you can kind of fix that.
Yeah.
You can
Look
see
at that
this.
great discard.
Actually,
nothing.
honestly,
I love this.
I kind of like this
No,
sort
the
of.
discard.
Oh, the disc art.
the
Yeah,
disc
on the art.
art.
Yeah, you're right. They
Yeah.
aren't on the actual discs themselves.
But you know what? In a way, when you look at the sort of
Disney does that.
like the light amount of art they do here, this sort of minimalist thing, it kind of
Reminds you of a vinyl.
No, I love the art there. I'm just saying.
No, but I mean
disc-
having no art on the disc kind of fits like the style of it.
Now,
That doesn't
as
bother me.
as with the Phase 1, Phase 2 also comes with a lot of neat little extras.
This gets to the thing I'm most angry about this set.
Is
This should be in here
Yes,
somehow.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Because
the
with
great
the,
thing about the suitcase, the briefcase that the Phase 1 box that comes in is that you can store all that stuff, all the extra bonus kitschy stuff that comes with it in the case itself.
so now I have to find a way, like, you put these things on a display shelf.
Yeah.
Where am I going to put that?
Shadow box.
Now,
Yeah.
I tried actually to put this folder inside my Phase 1 briefcase.
Yeah.
With the other folders, it bulges. So
Oh yeah, I
it
saw you
doesn't-
posted it.
it
You tried
doesn't-
to get it on there.
It doesn't quite work. I will probably
We'll have a
make it-
camera, Zach.
Yeah, exactly. What did you do?
It's dead.
Turn the camera on.
No, it's dead.
Oh,
Battery
okay.
life on this is.
All right, well, hang on. Let me switch cameras here.
Well, that was fast.
That's what happens when you.
Wait, do you want to?
could have.
You can give that to me
kept it
while I
plugged
display.
in. Okay.
Let's see.
While it charges.
Well, that's the folder.
Yeah, that camera does not last that long.
Okay.
Oh,
so we got
so-
your web camera.
Until
All
we
right.
get
So we got Steve's web camera. Okay. So here's the envelope that it comes in. Russian information, so it's probably Black Widow themed.
Yeah.
In this little case right here, seem to be coasters.
Oh, is it really?
I'm not entirely sure what they're in reference to.
What
They're like
No, it's what do you mean? It's like the orb.
Is it the orb? It might just be the orb. Yeah, you know what? I think it is the orb
It's just the
bar.
orb bar.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, it's just let me see that orb bar.
There's a few different coasters, black and red. I love these.
Are you sure they're coasters? Because I read.
They're cardboard
I
pieces.
read
They seem like
patches.
coasters. Oh no, they are patches.
Okay, so we're gonna-
Right now though, Post-it notes, Stark R&D department.
okay.
That's awesome.
The first Post-it note is it's in black. It's very obviously there, kind of hard to write anything. But
Yeah.
if you do use the Post-it notes, all the other ones are very light.
Oh, it's
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 a
like
very
it
light
was written
imprint.
in Sharpie.
It's very
Light
light
print.
imprint, so that way you can write on the Post-it notes. And actual Post-its, actual Post-it.
Sadly, I'm not going to use those.
Yeah, I'm not either.
They're going to say it back.
I love this one. Specimen 247, Colony 86, Scott Calder,
Oh.
Anthony KIA, Kill
Nice.
Action, Anthony's Wing. So sad and depressing.
Yeah, I'm all worked up on that.
Tony Stark's name tag from when he went to the Burn Conference in 2000 at the beginning
God,
of
that's
Iron Man.
awesome.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
There's also a paper clip to put this on, but that's somewhere. Oh,
Yep.
It's just a generic paper clip.
Yep. Did
Uh,
you lose my paperclip?
I forget the guy's name from Ant-Man. I just watched it.
I haven't seen it since the theater.
Yes, Scott's best friend, who gives him a place to stay.
Pena's character.
Yeah, Michael Pena's character. His ID tag that Hope gets him so he can go in and they can do their heist. Here's the patch. I want to put this on something. It's a shield strike, really cool military patch.
That's
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, and I really want this on something.
I'm very curious to know where you're going to put that.
I have no idea.
I'll ask you.
Oh, this one. Tony Stark temporary tattoo.
I need that.
Oh my god, I want that.
That's
I want that
hilarious.
cheek.
One time you sent,
I don't remember which one this one's from either.
I need that.
River Raptors, JD Canoe River Rental. Doors River.
Oh, is that on a T-shirt?
It may have been on a T-shirt or something.
It wasn't on the.
That's the cool thing about these sets is there's some really subtle stuff in it. It almost makes you want to go dig it out like an Easter egg from the movies.
Picture of Bucky back in his military days.
Nice.
Scott Lang's
6x6 contact.
Baskin Robbins name tag.
That's
Baskin Robbins always fun.
Scott Lang from Ant-Man, if you remember.
Jarvis is my co-pilot bumper sticker.
Oh!
That's begging for a guitar case. Right there.
Only for minis and.
I'll get that one. I'll get to last. The Howard and Maria Stark newspaper clipping of their car accident. So Tony Stark's parents' death newspaper clipping.
Wow.
Another temporary tattoo of the Mandarin Ten Rings logo.
Nice.
Clippings of the Infinity Stones. Really cool art.
Isn't that no that
Yep. This one is from Thor: The Dark World. It's Malekith. It's that page
It's
that is in the
gold
movie.
foil.
Yeah,
Oh,
it is gold
Yeah,
foil too. It's really
yeah,
nice.
it's really cool. That doesn't come through on the camera, but it's gold foil.
Winter Soldier photograph of Bucky being frozen. Not entirely sure what this is, but it's like it's a rubber Avengers logo of some sort.
The heck?
It's
Yeah,
a really cool logo.
Is it a hog?
It's not a pog. It's not a magnet. I don't know really what it's for, but it's there.
It's cool.
A paperclip.
So
It comes with the set.
yeah. So
Okay.
there's like a lot.
Here's the last pick. And this is probably going to factor in very heavily in Captain America: Civil War.
Yeah.
It's the Sokovia Accords, and it reads.
Oh.
Yeah. In accordance with this document at hand, I hereby certify that the below-mentioned participants, peoples, and individuals shall no longer operate freely or unregulated, but instead operate under the rules, ordinances, and governances of the aforementioned United Nations panel, acting only when and if the panel deems appropriate and or necessary.
Oh my. So that really
And that
is
is
from Civil War.
The Avengers, named Clint Barton, Wanda Maximoff, James Rhodes, Steve Rogers, Natasha Romanoff, Anthony Stark, Vision, and Sam Wilson.
So if you still weren't clear about how the sides are going to be split in Civil War, there it is. That's pretty blatant.
Well, I mean, it doesn't like split up the sides, like who's on whose side, but
They're agreeing to be.
No, put their names on.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is the list. This is the
This
list.
is the
So what
Declaration of
happens? They have-
Independence where they
they
put
have
the
to sign.
sign.
Oh, look, yeah. See, they're waiting for signatures.
Yeah.
This is more like a warrant.
So this is like.
Well,
Because if you
it's
don't know, if you're really out of the loop on this, Civil War is a big piece of what's going to factor into that story is this idea that superheroes can't work outside the government. They need to register and be a part of the
it's
authorities.
basically because of the accident that happened in Sokovia in Avengers: Age of Ultron. Tony Stark was doing this unregulated activity of making Ultron.
Yeah.
That is why since the United Nations have put together some sort of accord and agreement that these individuals have to sign and act in accordance with the United Nations and can only act when allowed to.
Get the camera back.
And
Yeah,
that's
spoon back.
and that's basically the reason there's going to be mostly probably because Captain America needs to act outside of when the United Nations tells him to. So I thought it was a really cool thing to add because it's a very good clue as to what's going to happen in the movie.
Yeah, now
That
if you're an
is
audio
sweet.
listener to this show, you should, if you want to see this stuff, we put it up really close on the camera so you can see.
David, there's the
It'll
orb.
be on YouTube, huh?
There's the orb.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. So this is one thing I was going to talk about really quickly. Is this? I think the package is really cool looking,
Yeah.
but ultimately I would like to have seen the orb bigger, and maybe the discs inside here, and then you could have had the extras inside the
In the
base.
base. I think that would look
Because I'll
better.
show you something in comparison. Another favorite thing of mine.
Yeah, I wonder what you
Let's
could
scoot
do.
that over for comparison. Blam! This is the Phantasm ball containing every Phantasm movie ever made. And in a really simple, they just put the discs right there.
I think that would have worked. It would have. I think they wanted the orb to be the size.
Yeah, but you know what?
I think it still is
I'm-
a little bit maybe larger.
I
than
would
Zero.
say that the briefcase that we have is not the same size as the one that was carried.
Yeah, but it would be particularly larger. If it was
Yeah.
the size to fit all the discs.
Well,
I
they
don't-
could have made the base bigger.
Yeah.
They could have made the base bigger because we have no reference to the base in all of the
Right.
entire movies. And I agree. Ultimately, I would rather have something that can hold all the extras as opposed to this flimsy envelope because I have to figure out where to keep this.
Exactly.
The briefcase has a location.
Very annoyed by that. And the last packaging was perfect.
Yeah,
So I kind of expected that trend to continue. And it seems like because all the early press that we got was talking about the artists that did this work, and they were more focused on that than sort of the functionality of the package.
I think that's gonna come into play when Phase 3 box set comes around, and we'll probably 10 years when not 10 years, 5 years when it comes out.
Yeah.
We will most likely get an actual case that can hold it all together because that's very
Well, that would be cool.
that's a very glaring omission. I mean,
It is.
Is the Tesseract a part of the Phase 1 set?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so
in the
Is
briefcase.
it to scale? So is
Roughly,
the,
yeah.
is the idea that you can have all the Infinity
Is it, you
Gems?
think that the Tesseract is to scale? Do you think?
It roughly is, I think.
Maybe it is. Yeah. I haven't looked at it in a while.
Do you want me to get it?
No.
I mean, it's in this building.
Yeah, it's in the next room. We don't
That
care that
seems
much though.
difficult.
Yeah, it seems like more than one.
What would be really cool is if you could crack it open and the gems inside.
Yes, that would be awesome.
It's not in there. Don't do it.
That could be like the Cards Against Humanity secret card.
Which I have.
Oh my gosh! I had no idea about that. That's the coolest thing ever.
The
Yeah, it's pretty
biggest,
funny.
blackest.
All that said, though, it's a pretty great
Yeah.
set. And what was it? 189.
It's it's a little bit over 200. But you can get it on Amazon now, or at least when it shipped on Tuesday for like $150. Because I got it $50 off. I pre-ordered it at its full cost, and it went down in cost.
Yeah.
Which is the exact same thing that happened with the Phase 1 box set.
Yeah.
So
I
it
mean,
is always worth it to pre-order it as soon as it comes out on Amazon.
Yeah. I mean, the big reason to do that also is sometimes, like with the last one, they had limited runs of them.
Yeah.
So
The last one you also had,
it's just better safe than sorry.
yeah, and the last one you also had the issue where they had to delay it because the copyright infringement, because the briefcase.
Well, they changed the entire briefcase design.
Yeah, they had to change the entire briefcase design. But Disney was awesome about it. They sent everyone who pre-ordered it a copy of Avengers anyway.
Yeah.
And then I got it, so I just sold my copy of Avengers because I had 2 backup.
All right, that's cool. It's a great box set, and I have not seen most of these movies since I saw them in the theater, except for Guardians, because Cinemax is running it ad nauseum.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I rewatched that last night. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love it, but I'm excited to watch them again because I refused to buy anything that came out.
I did too.
waited.
I learned my lesson and I waited.
I'm not double dipping again. I will just be patient. So I'm going to be excited to go back and revisit this. All right, so let's talk about some stories.
Just until the triple dip when they all come out in one massive ass set.
I might buy that. Depend on the box. I might buy
If
it.
they put it in like the Triskelion.
It'll be in the Infinity Gauntlet.
You crack open the Triskelion there all of a sudden. That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
All right,
So Mike is
so
the first one, and I gave Mike this story because I think it'll piss him off.
actually, you may be surprised, and I'm going to jump into it before someone can give me some horrible segue. The comedians have had a problem lately, over the last several years with smartphones, and more specifically with smartphone video. There's been problems with. Obviously, there's problems with people videotaping their shows and posting snippets out on YouTube before the show is over. That's even led to death threats on Twitter with people disagree with things that have been leaked out from people's shows. So so there's a product out there that Dave Chappelle is actually going to utilize in his upcoming shows in Chicago. He's got 13 sold out shows at the Thalia Hall. That's when people come in, they're going to be greeted by staffers handing out gray smartphone sleeves. And
What was the name? Can you
sleeves,
tell us the name of the company?
yeah, it's Yonder. Yonder is the name of the company. And the sleeves are pretty clever. It's actually kind of cool. They give you the sleeve so you get to hang on to your phone. So it's not like you're having to put it into a locker or they take it away from you or something like that. But you put the sleeve, your phone in the sleeve, and then when you go into the performance hall, they've got, whether it sounds like from the article, it's that there's these little stations, like maybe kind of like the anti-shoplifting thing is you have to walk through sometimes going into stores, that lock the sleeves. When you go in, the sleeves are locked and you can't get the phone out. So so you can take it in. You can't pull it out to videotape anything or take a call or to text somebody. And then if you do need to take a call or go out something, you just leave the performance hall, go to the bar or the lobby or whatever. And when you pass back through the stations, it unlocks the sleeve so you can take your phone back out.
Can we have these in movie theaters, please?
Well, that's kind of what the article's getting into. Now it seems to be like Dave Chappelle is kind of making a big deal, kind of a big splash, him doing it. There was already a comedian, Hannibal Buress, was the first comedian to try it. He did it after someone tweeted or they leaked some of his show where he's calling Bill Cosby a rapist, and he ended up getting death threats from it. So he's kind of grasped onto the technology and it's said he's had good results with it. But the article goes on to explain that it's already something that's been being used in schools around the country, which kind of makes sense.
I was about to say that's brilliant in schools.
It could be used for anything, and of course they could be kind of an obvious example of like the preview screenings for Force Awakens or something like that. I mean, it's not the end all be all. You go to a preview screening of Star Wars, there's more incentive to maybe sneak something by than that doesn't get put in the pouch, or you just kind of tweak the kind of blurb the plot secrets after you get out of there. But I mean, it is kind of a special act for comedians where a lot of the material, especially depending on what kind of material you use, if it's shock value stuff, if you've read it before or seen it before, it kind of loses a lot of its value. So it makes a perfect sense for comedians.
Well, the thing that I support this. I didn't think about it for like comedy shows, but in theaters it's so annoying, people with their cell phones. But the thing about it, the good part is there was a push for a long time to utilize Bluetooth just to force people's phones into silent mode when you went into a certain area. There was some apps, the experiments that they were doing, or even to turn the phones off.
I'm not going to let somebody put something like that on my phone.
Well, the fact is, the way they were discussing doing it, you wouldn't really have a choice if you built them to the phone.
Android's open source.
This is just like a
and if it's Bluetooth based, you can just have Bluetooth off.
Let's pretend for a minute you're not a genius.
But for 98% of the people out there. But the issue for that, to me, with that is if you have situations where you need access to the phone and you can't do things, you just wouldn't be able to go. This would allow you to go because you can still hear the phone ring, but you have to step out to take that call.
And it's still in your pocket,
Right. But the process of let's say I'm at the comedy show and I hear my phone ring and I step outside, the thing unlocks. Well, I'm just gonna walk back in. I've got my phone out then.
Well,
I think
but
this
then
is kind of relying a little bit. I think
on the ushers, isn't it? Because then the usher would
I
be
know the
like,
ushers.
"Hey,
So
put the
literally,
pouch back on."
you're saying to me that if you went out and went to the bathroom, you wouldn't get irritated if somebody got in your face and said, "Let me see your phone" before they let you go back in.
I would get irritated.
Okay, because you're saying this doesn't bother you, but I know.
But I think it's a better solution than just them not allowing phones in. Period.
Yeah.
And
I don't mind a little bother in that way for me because I know that I'm not going to have to look at somebody's bright cell phone in my face when I'm trying to watch a movie.
I think it'll work for some venues, and I think maybe comedy shows or places where you pay a lot for a ticket, it'll work.
I don't see it.
It's not going to be with one thing in theaters. How are they going to collect the sleeves?
Well, they would.
You would have to have ushers there. And how
And
many
movies
theaters
are already expensive enough.
You know,
Yeah,
there's no
you know where you might
walking
see
out
is at
with
like
artsy theaters? At like the Alamo Draft House would be more like
places like that.
possibly
Yeah.
IMAX showings.
Maybe.
I mean,
I would
already
pay an
got
extra
size
$1. I'd pay an extra maybe $2
I would
to
pay
have
that.
this service
I'd
for like
pay
IMAX or 3D or like special screenings.
Here's what I like about this. If this becomes a thing and people don't like it, those people can stay at home.
Exactly.
I'm sure the argument's going to be, well, what if something bad happens and you need to make a phone call, i.e. shoot it? Or
Well, that's
Go out
why.
to the lobby.
Exactly. That's why the sleeves are a little bit better
Yeah.
because then you can actually hear something.
Wait, did you
Or
say a
you see it-
shooter?
There's been shooters in
Yeah, I know. Who's going to get to that? So I'm going off of your example. Who's going to get to leave to go to the lobby if there's an active shooter in the theater?
It's true.
No,
Yeah,
I'm saying like if you need a call from the theater.
Exactly.
But
Well, you're screwed then.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's none of that.
But there's that, but I mean, all you have to do is walk out and you're done. Like,
Well,
Well, that's what
the,
it just-
the good news is they've taken my phone. No, the bad news is they took my phone away from me. The good news is I still have my conceal and carry. So
That's true. That's true.
Depends on where you are.
I don't know.
The,
at Opryland, they won't even let you carry in a knife.
I know. How do they know?
I guess if you have it out in your pocket.
How do they know it's a knife in your pocket?
what?
But
Oh!
they don't have metal detectors there. Yeah.
They don't belt clip.
Before we go fall down the hole of are you glad to see me or not?
Too late.
One thing this does is it just also it makes it more obvious that it's a big deal if you take your phone out in the middle of a performance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they're going to all the trouble to make you put it in a pouch, it's another signal more than, you know, people telling you to put your phone away and turn it on mute or whatever. It's something else saying, yes, this is a big deal if you pull your phone out and try to use it, even if you are just texting or it's letting people know, no, this is not acceptable. Which and that just from a social kind of thing, that's just more reinforcement. It's kind of a good thing.
And
too.
you know, the only way that this works is if they get these pouches so cheap that they're disposable. Because, you know, you say you need ushers. Well, they don't have ushers to deal with 3D glasses. They just trust you to throw them
Yeah.
away. If you walk out with them, then so be it. It's a loss. But they've got them down to, 3 cents a piece. So
well,
this
how
can
much are IMAX 3D glasses?
They're a little more expensive. You're right. And
But
there's
you
an
still
usher
won't
there.
have people.
Yeah, there's a lot of times ushers there that watch you. Not always though.
But you can't always
I'm gonna
regulate
say
it
to the
because
man to
people are
take as
gonna-
many pairs as I can next time.
Do it.
But you can't
Plus,
always regulate it. Why, Nathan?
There's less of a reason to really.
Because you allow purses, you allow bags, you have big heavy jackets, you have all sorts of things. People sneak in.
Well, but that goes to my point. At Regal now, that if you walk in with a bag, they're gonna look at it.
Yeah, I got checked the other day.
But it doesn't matter because people come in with flask all the time. Certain friends of mine brought in a flask.
Oh,
and
please, it was
Sorry.
you.
That's
Certain friends of mine. It was
So-
you.
There's a
in a
difference
car
between like a
purse.
flask and like a bag.
Yeah, but I mean.
No, but a flask was
it's-
in
I'm
her
confused.
purse.
Explain the difference.
They searched through the purse and she had a flask and stuff in
Yeah.
there.
Oh well,
And
that's
what did
to
they
your-
say about that?
That's what they're looking for.
To your point, it's what you can walk in and pretend like you don't have your phone with you, and then all of a sudden you do.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, even then,
Or
that's
use your burn phone. That's what I
typically first
Yeah.
and foremost, they're
I will
gonna
buy a burn phone. just
Yeah,
for this
typically first and foremost, they're going to be looking for recording equipment, and that's the thing they're really wanting. And then after that is weapons. But
Yeah.
no matter what pretense they're saying, they're looking at bags. Even if they don't want movies recorded.
You can't be consistent with that either because if you think about these shows, you've got to get people in mass amounts at a fast pace. these people aren't even going to really be looking. It's just like when you go into a theme park, it's like glance go,
I've
glance
got a
go.
question. Are we putting a lot of effort into something that would just require an usher to look for someone doing this and then going up and tapping that person and being like, you're out of
Right,
of-
I 100% agree with you, but I think the problem is people are afraid nowadays. They don't want to be confrontational because you know who does that, and it's awesome. I was there.
The Belcourt.
No, Belcourt doesn't really do it.
They
They
let
will
us
do
know.
it. They will threaten you and that kind of thing, but they don't really have somebody dedicated to it.
They don't
But
probably have the staff.
Alamo Draft House
Yeah.
does have somebody dedicated to it, and they put a thing up, a screen up that says, "We will come and ask you to leave if we see your phone."
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
they are hardcore about it. Well, they get so hardcore that they don't let me bring babies into screenings, even if it's PG.
Babies and
They have
phones, that's two
baby.
things
They
I don't
have
wanna deal with.
specific baby screenings though for
The
baby
baby have
phones.
phones.
What's that?
They do have baby screenings.
They do. Yeah, in the mornings on Saturdays they'll screen
Baby
regular
screenings.
movies where you can bring your kid. But you know they're
Sorry, your child
different
has a
because
clue.
they even have a daycare. Like the one I went to has a daycare. You can pay for 2 hours and they have somebody there who watches your kids.
You know,
Have you
it
heard-
seems like something we should be doing.
Yeah, right.
We have all the skill set needed to do this kind of
We
thing.
do.
It's true. True.
Speaking of Alamo Draft House, there is something I forgot to send to y'all, but this is a story I just really want to quickly say. They're having a contest about the ultimate Star Wars marathon.
Mhm.
Basically, you know they're having.
Yeah,
so-
John can't comment about that.
Okay, you're having all
Actually,
six,
he's commenting.
all 6 films,
Mhm.
and then what they're going to do is they're going to pick like 10 people out, and they're going to play The Force Awakens until there's one person left indefinitely.
So is that they're just gonna play Force Awakens?
Yeah, Force Awakens again and again
So
And
sleeping puts you out, I would imagine.
Yes.
Okay.
until they all drop except for one.
I would
Prizes
be out.
include a 7-year pass to the Alamo Draft House.
Oh, that might be worth it.
You
I
can
literally.
ruin The Force
No,
Awakens.
I literally could not do that.
Do they-
Like on the
Well, they
third
have
time,
breaks
I
in
would be
between
out.
movies, like bathroom breaks and concession breaks.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
so,
watch-
so,
you watch
so you
all
could
the
theoretically
six
just like,
marathon.
okay, movie's over, go get concessions, or even during the movie, I guess maybe. Or I don't know what the rules are.
It's
I'd
the
have to
latest
look at
one
them, but
on
it's,
loop.
It's the last person
Over and over
you're
again.
watching.
Yeah.
But you watch the full 6 and then you have to do this, right?
No.
Yeah, you watch the full 6,
Oh.
and then Force Awakens,
And
Until.
then Force
then
Awakens.
it starts.
Oh.
You know what
okay,
they should
gotcha.
do? Like at one random, at random intervals, at random repeats of Force Awakens. Like, and now there's the holiday special,
Honestly,
and then
my
later,
God.
later is another points.
Oh my
now
God.
there are the Ewok movies.
oh,
The
Honestly,
Ooh,
that
it's
was-
cartoon.
my whole problem would be the theater. You know, I can watch movie after movie after movie at home, but sit in a dark theater, I fall asleep. I just
Yeah.
Actually, I fall asleep easier at home than I do at the theater, so
It's
I
amazing,
might be okay. But like, you put me on a couch, even with like a really, really wonderful movie, and I'm out. I started
Well-
watching Moonrise Kingdom the other night for the first time. I was out.
Well,
I
that's
heard
no
Moonrise
choice.
It is gonna move right.
I would like to
Oh.
point out. I would like to point out that I can fall asleep at a stoplight. That's all the amount of time it takes for me.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It takes
Well,
nothing for me anymore.
No, see, my point is at home, when I start to feel that coming on, I can get up and walk around, I can take a break.
Okay, easy.
Well,
There
it
you
is.
go.
It is.
You're sick. She's looking at her. Let me.
I'm sorry. You said when I start to
I was gonna say at a certain point they're gonna be so many people left in the theater that you could just go ahead and still walk around. Your
I know.
Speaking of people in a theater, what about this week's box office?
Oh, nice.
Good segue. Glad we're off that.
Bottom of my good.
That was not a good segue. We got to.
I'm just glad we're off of that
We're being a
conversation.
little
Oh, well, then that's
Yeah, we're being a little too gracious with the segue situation. All right, here's the box office. Number 10 is A Secret in Their Eyes. That one made 1.9 million. It's made 17 million so far. No budget release. Probably because they're embarrassed. Number 9 is Brooklyn. It made 2.4 million. 11.2 so far. The same deal there. No budget. Number 8, Spotlight. 2.8 million. It's made 16.5 so far. No budget there either. That's actually a good movie, though. Number 7 is the Peanuts movie, made another 3.5 million. That one's made 121 million so far on a $99 million budget. Still need to see that.
seeing that.
Yes. Number 6 is The Night Before, made 5 million. Made 32 so far on a $25 million budget. Let's see. Number 5, Spectre made $5.5 million. Stop going to this movie.
Nowhere near going to make its budget.
Wow.
$184 million on a
It has.
$245 million. Yeah, globally.
It's
done
well-
very
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, it's done very well globally.
It's nowhere near the same numbers as Skyfall.
No, not even close.
It's
Gotcha.
doing around the same numbers as Quantum of Skulls.
Squalls?
Squalus.
Solace.
Number 4 is
Squalus?
Creed. That one made $14.9 million. It's made $64.5 million on a $35 million budget. That's a success for that.
I want to go see that.
I do
I
too.
heard it's
I do
really
too.
good.
I've heard as well. It's good.
I've heard it's good. I just have no interest in going.
I would watch it. Number 3 is The Good Dinosaur. It made $15 million. That one's made $75.7 million. No budget there.
It's a bomb! Oh my God!
Yes.
Good Lord, ladies and gentlemen, it's a bomb! Pixar's made a bomb! That's what Disney came out and said. It's like it's considered a failure.
Did
now.
they really?
Yes.
Okay. Well, at least they're being honest.
I mean, this is one of the more expensive animated films ever.
Really?
made
Because
the
it
film-
doesn't look that good.
They made
animation
the
doesn't
film
look that good.
twice. Like it was 95% done, and they said, "Scrap it. We're starting over."
That's
Why?
not even a clue.
I mean,
They should have just scrapped it and started another movie. All right, so number 2 was Krampus. It made $16 million on a $15 million budget. So there you go.
Good for Chris.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And number 1 over the weekend was Hunger Games: Mockingjay Part 2. It made $18.8 million. It's made $227 million so far. No budget release there. So there's 2 movies on here we can actually talk about. Krampus we saw.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I might see it tonight.
Catherine and Nathan and
Don't
I
spoil.
went to see.
Good.
And
I liked it.
I enjoyed it.
It's quite enjoyable.
It's enjoyable and it's an entertaining movie. I wouldn't call it good, but it's
Those
entertaining.
are 2 different things.
Yeah, exactly. It tries a little too hard to be Cabin in the Woods,
See, I
but
didn't
if
get
you
that
can,
at all.
oh, I did.
I think
If you can turn your brain, I mean, it doesn't have the.
I think it tries harder to be Gremlins than it is Cabin in the Woods.
Maybe you're right about
Please
that.
don't say turn your brain off. That's like death for me trying to see.
Well, shut the front door, Zach.
You should turn your brain off.
No!
Either way, if you go in with really low expectations, it's a fun time.
There are a couple of scenes in there. There's one scene in there that made me laugh so hard. I thought I was going to die. I'm not going to spoil it because it's a really fun
He
scene.
was literally probably one of the only people laughing.
I just
People are
kept-
laughing at
I,
him.
for some reason, in that scene, I just kept picturing Baby Mike.
Oh my God.
Oh, now I know what you're talking
I
about.
don't know.
Nathan started laughing at me because I was laughing.
And then
I
the people
remember
behind
now.
us were
I
laughing at
remember.
him. He was just cracking up.
Yeah.
It was one of those
Well, I
like,
leaned over to this. Baby Mike.
it's like you're rooting for the bad things to happen. And I'm sorry.
You were rooting
That
for
is the
bad
thing.
things to happen.
You do because you literally hate everybody in this movie.
It's very true.
Everyone in the movie's annoying. You're like, oh my gosh, but it's so funny. And then the ending, it slaps you with like, and you're like, what the hell? And then it switches it. It was great.
Well, and you know what the thing I enjoyed the most about it is something different Christmassy to see.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it definitely is a holiday movie. No question. It's fun. 6.5.
ants.
6.5 out of 10.
Yeah,
It's not bad.
Fun.
Really? A 6.5? I might give it 5.5,
Oh,
but
well, you're crazy.
The ant was just my favorite.
Yeah.
She was
She
funny.
was
Yeah.
my favorite.
Aunt Donna.
Did anybody see Red Letter Media's review on it?
No.
Just me. Like they gave it a glowing review, so
Yeah,
I kind of really interesting.
Well, and in general, it's doing pretty well. Everybody's saying
I'll
it's
tell you this. There's this one Russian or German grandma.
Oh my gosh,
She
I
is
love
speaking
Oni.
something, and the aunt goes, she just said we're effed. or whatever. And she goes,
Well,
how do
and
you
they
know?
do
How
the
do you
thing-
know?
They do the Ocean's 11 thing where sometimes she's speaking German and they speak back to her in English and it's not a big deal. Nobody ever talks about it.
Mhm.
It just happens.
And then all of a sudden she can speak English.
Yeah, when she needs to.
I knew you.
Under a high stress situation.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's fun. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
It was such a good movie.
So last night, Nathan and I actually got to go see a sneak preview of In the Heart of the Sea,
Oh.
which is the Ron Howard sort of. It's sort of Ron Howard telling the story of where this Moby Dick story came from.
Okay.
Yeah. Overall, I enjoyed it. It has pacing issues in the first half. It had one of those things where, for me, now I've been kind of looking at some of our competitors' reviews, and they don't all agree with me. but I felt like some of the action sequences went a little bit long. But I think part of the problem with that was, Zach, you would have blown your stack because they had matte boxes on the left and the right. Because I think the aspect ratio was not set correctly because it was in 3D, and some of the 3D didn't work properly. It wasn't that it just sucked. It just didn't work the way it should have.
The way they showed it was not proper. It wasn't how they would properly.
Oh, I would
show
have like blown up.
Yeah. So visually, I'm gonna say that visually the movie's stunning. We didn't get that full effect of it. You could see where it is though. It's gorgeous.
And I will say, Chris Hemsworth did an amazing.
Yeah, there was only 2 times I couldn't understand what Chris Hemsworth said, and at least one for you, because Nathan leaned over to me and said, "What did he say?"
I mean, it is.
He can have a little bit of a marble in the mouth issue once in a while.
The aspect ratio was supposed to be 185. Was that what it was?
It was not.
No,
Was
they
it?
didn't even expand it.
No, it's not supposed to expand. It's supposed to.
Well,
Oh no, wait.
It's supposed to be 185, so it's supposed to be like 16 by 9.
Yeah, actually it was. So
Okay.
it was right. So
They just had the curtains expanded.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it
Because they're
was.
lazy.
Yeah.
Where'd you see it?
Greenhouse.
That's
Yeah. It
unacceptable.
was a Regal cinema.
I'm sorry, that's unacceptable.
so it was right. It was just it looked wrong.
Yeah,
Basically, they had the curtains expanded.
Something didn't feel right about it though, and then maybe it's just that the post convert on the 3D was not good.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was, because it wasn't.
Or it could still be a projection problem.
It could still be. Yeah.
Just because they had the aspect ratio right.
Yeah, because they didn't have their stuff together, the people that run it, because I was going in and she said, let me know what you think of the previews. There were no previews. There wasn't.
What did you think of them?
I hated them.
Okay.
Yeah, I hated them.
Valuable feedback.
No,
So
this was the preview. Steven had to get up to use the restroom and get us drinks, and he came back and
He loved this.
we were in the middle of the row, and we have people lined up
On both sides.
on both sides. So to see a blind man going through the aisle with 2 drinks,
Two giant drinks.
trying not to whatever, and I just sat there and giggled because I couldn't.
And of course, everybody on that side where I was coming in was like 6 feet tall, so
Yeah.
their knees were bumping into the seat in front of them basically, and I had to try to squeeze in there. So yeah, he was highly entertained. But it has sort of that Ron Howard melodrama. If you don't like that, you won't like the movie. If you don't mind it, you will like it. This stuff for me is it's kind of told in flashback, and the Brandon Gleeson stuff that's like sort of the future, like after all the events have happened, is my favorite stuff in the movie. He's great. He's so cool. He's really good. It's fun. That's for me another 6.5.
Well, and I'll tell you, it's
Was
like
it worth delaying from March to December?
I don't know what they delayed for, honestly.
Release date.
release date or post production.
Maybe
No,
it was
release
convert-
date.
Well, that was weird. Yeah, maybe it was, honestly. This
It's
maybe
maybe
feels
it.
like more of a winter movie. Doesn't feel like a summer movie, even though it's got a lot of action. This doesn't feel like that.
They're trying to get that Oscar buzz
No,
somewhat.
there's no chance this movie is getting any kind of...
No, it won't.
Any nominations?
No.
Not for sound mix, not
No,
for.
no.
No, it won't get any. I mean,
Nathan cried.
I teared up a little bit.
I cried a lot of things, though.
Yeah.
It's true!
It is, you're right.
This is the reason why you and I get along so well. We like fat kid food and crying.
Yeah. So anyway, it's good, and I did like this sort of way that the Moby Dick story ties into it and everything. It's good.
Good to know.
For me, another 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 7.
Yeah, I mean, you liked it slightly better than me when we came
Yeah.
out of it, but yeah.
I'd say 7. I don't know. I was just more impressed with like once they did run into the whale and everything that happened from there on. Yeah,
It honestly, it's not quite the story that
you were
the
expecting.
trailers portrayed it to be, which is good. It was good, actually.
Because when you look at the trailers, you get that I am Ishmael type feel to it, and it's
Yeah.
not.
All right. So if you want to see something this weekend, though, all you really have to choose from is Heart of the Sea, which is at 60%, which is slightly under what I would give it, but it's about right. And The Big Short, which is 82% on
What's The Big Short?
I don't know.
Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's the
Steve
one
Carell.
Steve Carell.
Carell, Betty
Yeah,
Bates,
it's a
economy.
yeah. It's is it a comedy?
No, economy.
Economy. Yeah, it's about the economy shorting loans and stuff like that.
Sounds boring.
It's trying to be like another semi-American Hustle-y sort of.
Well,
Yeah.
why would you want to be another version of a bad movie?
That was bad. It was great.
That's what I would kind of, based on the trailer, relate it to.
No, in terms
I'd
of,
rather watch Krampus again.
in terms of content-wise, I think it's kind of like that. It looks interesting. I like the cast in it. I like the cast in American Hustle too. But,
Didn't know.
but no, it probably would have been worse without it.
That's true. It would have. All right, and Wayne, I think you have something to do, sir.
Let me take a look at a script.
Nice way to prepare.
Oh, here we go. It sounds like something you'd expect to see as a fake news story on April Fool's Day, but it's something that is actually happening. James Franco is playing Tommy Wiseau in a movie about the making of The Room. It's a Roomception.
Oh, yes.
A cult classic widely considered to be the worst movie ever made that was written, directed, produced, and starred Wiseau in the lead role. Franco, who's also directing, has shared an image from the set of the movie titled The Disaster Artist.
I'm pulling it up.
With him in full Wiseau costume and accompanied by his brother, Dave Franco, who plays the actor who played Mark. Oh, hi, Mark. Greg Sestero. A bunch of actors have also recently joined the cast, including Josh Hutcherson and Kate Upton. You can see the image here.
Nice way to
Maybe not.
your.
No, I mean here on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm trying to find.
That's
Oh,
what
there
I'm
it is.
saying.
There it is. Hang on, I'm pulling it right now.
This is great.
It's
audio.
actually.
Yeah, I know.
it's
I had to
actually-
take a moment to look at it.
I'm pulling up the image right now. There it is.
Along with Hutcherson and Upton, Ari Grainer, Jackie Weaver, Zac Efron, previous talked about comedian Hannibal Buress, and Andrew Centino have also joined the cast, along with Seth Rogen, because what is Franco without Rogen?
That's very true.
Hutcherson
Secret
will
love.
play Philip Holloman, the actor who played the immensely awkward Ben.
Get the door, Danny!
For some reason, Ben
Shut
is
the
unable
door!
to close a door.
Letting all the heat out.
He's
So,
I can't even.
what do you guys have to say about this?
I am all in. Chips on the table.
No,
I'm ready.
What
Did
was
you say
the-
no? Well, you haven't seen The Room.
no, I have no desire to.
What?
Oh, Nathan, it's the most fun. You throw spoons.
Okay.
I
can
do
do
not
that at
like
my
good.
house.
Do you not like fun things?
Well, here's
You know,
something
like
really
the
funny.
house.
On that note, I tagged a bunch of you guys. Dwayne, I tagged you. Pretty much all of us that went to The Room. Zach, you thought it was a link to this story.
Mhm.
Actually, if you guys know who Devin Ferrasi is, he's a really talented internet writer, directs pop culture, does what we do, basically. He's written for a bunch of places, Ain't It Cool News, Hitflix, other places like that.
So he does better than what we do.
Well, he gets paid more than we do. Yeah, so I don't know about better, but he wrote a really interesting feature article about his opinion of The Room, and it will not make you happy, because he thinks the whole thing is ridiculous.
Holding is ridiculous.
Oh my gosh, he's saying it's a bad
but
movie?
no, ridiculous in the whole. He thinks the whole subculture around the movie is kind of dumb. And you know what's funny is because
Sorry.
at first I didn't agree with him, but when you start to read the article, you know, a lot of what he says makes sense. You should read it.
I did read it.
Did you?
Yes.
And what did you think?
You know what? I enjoy the movie. I wish I could have seen this, but not in a theater for the first time, because that could have changed my perception of it. But I had such a good time the first time I went and saw that in a crowd.
Yeah.
And then now I just want other people to experience
Well,
it.
and see,
The weird thing about
I started to
Room is-
question myself. Did I actually enjoy? What did I enjoy?
I
What I really
Experience.
enjoyed was
Mhm.
drinking with my friends and throwing spoons in a theater.
Yeah.
Okay.
so I
That's why I enjoy The Room.
well,
I think it's
all right,
worth
I think
saying that.
it's slightly
Yeah.
different. The easy comparison to make with The Room is Rocky Horror. It's got the
Yeah.
same kind of digital interactive movie experience.
Except Rocky Horror is an actual.
No,
Okay, we can get into
Really
this in a
still.
second. I'll listen to Nico.
Well,
I have
it's
a
It's a better
in
comparison
terms of-
to not Ed Wood's the director, but Plan 9.
Yeah.
It's just a genuinely bad movie.
No, that's not what. That's not
So
talking
hang
about
on, let me
quality.
just point.
Not
Okay,
talking about
okay,
quality
sorry.
of film. I'm talking about film watching experience in a theater.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, I agree with you.
Yeah, in terms of the interactive experience, everyone reciting lines and alterations of lines and doing interactivity and acting out, all that jazz. That is true.
Now.
Now,
Yeah.
okay, now I'm expanding on this.
Okay.
I saw both movies in the theater with that kind of interactive experience the first time I saw each film. hate Rocky Horror.
Agreed.
I loved watching The Room, and I don't think.
Well, okay, I agree. With that.
And I don't think it was. I like the experience. I thought it was fine, but more so, I like examining The Room because it's just such a fascinating train wreck. Yeah, Rocky Horror, I can't say is a train wreck. It is a competent film in terms of the creation of the film. There is no way anyone could ever say there is anything competent about the creation of The Room, other than somehow it got created.
Yeah.
But and that's the thing I find fascinating is how on every single level of filmmaking, down to set layout, it's such a poorly made film. And that's the thing I just find fascinating and hilarious to watch. And then the fact that everyone else there is making fun of the same problems.
Well, you know what's interesting, and maybe the problem with his article, he was reading too much into it, but he actually did a comparison to Ed Wood. He said part of what makes Ed Wood such great cult cinema, in bad movies to go enjoy it, is because he thought he was making something great, and he stood by it.
So did Wiseau.
Wiseau owns the fact that it's stupid now.
He does now, but when he was making it,
But the point is, Ed Wood, if he were still alive, wouldn't be doing that. He would still be.
Would he in this culture though?
I think he would. Because he was a passionate filmmaker, and the argument is that the Room was essentially to launder drug money. They didn't give a damn how the movie.
There's an example of that.
I mean?
That one of the Room's favorites, or the people in the Room, Troll 2. The guy who directed that.
That's what I was going to
You watch that best worst movie, and he still stands up and says it's a quality. He gets pissed off when people
hate it.
And he doesn't get it.
Yeah. And that part of it to me just sort of brought this level of credibility to it. Like, this really, the people that made this movie knew they were doing something stupid, and there was a behind-the-scenes purpose to basically, like you said, launder drug money or launder mob money. It wasn't about trying to do something real and tell a story, and it just fell apart because you suck at what you do, like Ed Wood stuff or Troll 2.
And I think
so. It's not in the art. I'm not 100% agreeing with it. I'm just saying it's really interesting food for thought, because in his mind he can't support it because it's not really cult cinema. It's just a dumb reason to get together and get drunk, which he can do that, other way.
I don't know. I think it's a pretty damn good reason to get together. And make fun of something and drink and throw spoons.
Well, it's not really. It's not the motivation in it that really goes to it. I don't care why it was made. I really don't care why it was made. It's the fact that it was. The fact that this film made it into theaters is the thing that surprises me. The fact that whatever the motivations were, there was enough sort of actual legitimate Hollywood presence to make this a thing. Not direct to video, not direct to the internet, which I mean back then it was me, but not direct to like I'm gonna make a VHS and pass it around in mail order and stuff. It was, no,
and there was a lot of it happening in that time.
Yeah, no, that's not just what this was. And that's why I find this a fascinating experience. But I also do think Ed Wood films are also a fascinating experience. Also, kind of for similar reasons, Ed Wood stuff is really bad. Really bad. And it also got that kind of actual process to be a legitimate film.
Now, I think, going back to kind of the Ed Wood comparison, I think there's kind of a joy and an energy in like the Plan 9 and Ed Wood stuff that is missing from The Room. The Room, it's horrendous, it's stupid, it's too long. Yeah. And it's kind of flat. I mean, it's hysterical and it's so awful, but it's kind of flat. Whereas, Plan 9 is just everybody in it is swinging for the fences. They're all hitting little ground balls and dribblers. And
The Room's entertainment value is entirely just on examining how awful it is. If it was slightly better, but like the plot and everything was the same, it would be
fun.
Boring because it is a boring movie. That's what happens in a dumb movie.
Just the level of entertainment you get from The Room is based solely upon the audience in which you are sitting.
And I think that's not necessarily true.
I don't know that I can agree with that.
If you are the only person in your audience
I have sat by myself and watched that without the Rift Tracks cover, and I still find it hilarious.
Because
But
it
it's
is,
nowhere near as good.
It's nowhere
it's
as good,
it's
but
still-
It's a person's perception.
yeah, but
And honestly, it's kind of fun to take a moment and actually watch it and see how bad it is without people shouting.
So you can actually kind of see how.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
I have.
really
We
just
watched
sit
about half
there
of it
and
the night
let
here
it
at the
soak
house,
into
just the
it.
3 of us, and it was horrible.
I'll also say this versus the Rocky. So if we talk about this versus Rocky Horror as a live experience, Rocky Horror is something that has come down. Like when you go to Rocky Horror, you can hear in the right group, you can hear the dialogue. Like there is, and it has changed and grown over time, but there is a call and response thing going in Rocky Horror. The room is kind of a
It's so
mess
much
in that
more
regard
organized.
because it's just people screaming and running around, and it's not really
but
like.
can you also
it's
say
not-
it's because that fandom, that interactive experience is younger?
It-
Like,
it-
well,
Interest
and
Game has
also-
not had the time to develop
Also,
the
I
Rocky
think,
has.
That's
well,
true.
There, and also, I think the room isn't as suited to it. I think people are trying to wedge.
I think
stuff into
that's
it.
I think that's also
yeah,
true.
I think a
Rock-
lot of
Rocky
people-
The
is
musical
kinda made
is
for that.
suited to that kind of call and response. It's suited to
Yeah,
it.
I think Rocky was made for that.
It really was.
It really
You know,
was.
and the thing the takeaway that I took from that article, and I wish you guys would read it, tell me what you think, because it was really interesting to
I
look
can-
up, was that he is coming at this in the way that Zach usually comes at things, as a hardcore film person, and not just somebody looking for a good time on a Saturday night. And he's like, I can't support this because it's not. It's funny to say this, but it's not legitimate cult cinema. This was just an excuse to launder money.
I
This was
don't
not
no, I
people
don't
who
agree because
had a
cult
passion
cinema
for
comes
filmmaking.
from the audience.
Yeah, cult cinema
You
has no
can't make
bearing
a
as to
cult
why
film.
it's made.
Well,
That's
what becomes,
literally
what
what
be-
a cult
be-
is. It's
but
the audience.
What becomes cult cinema, though? It's what brings it. Rocky Horror is cult cinema too, but that
Yeah.
again, that was a real movie where people had passion and they did it because they wanted to do it, not because they were trying to hide.
Any
money.
movie can be
Yeah,
a cult.
yeah. I know
Wait,
that-
I think I'm losing something here. Have they legitimately found out that the room
It's
was
out there.
laundering money?
Yeah, it's out.
But that doesn't matter. The motivations behind the movie doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because the movie could have been made a theatrical masterpiece,
Yeah.
and it could eventually just become a cult
Well,
classic.
I would.
But I think it's entirely based just on eventual natural growth audience reaction.
Well, it's like The Big Lebowski is not a bad movie. It's still
Yeah.
a cult film.
Oh, pick about, I mean,
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Great movie.
Yes.
That's yeah. It's
But
a movie
I'm
that
just
people
saying
have
as an
seen.
example, it's
Yeah.
like that's something that a lot of people don't say is a bad film.
Well, and I'm just trying to play devil's
It's still a
advocate
cult
because I had a
movie.
blast that night.
Yeah,
throwing
it's-
spoons and drinking.
The quality of the film does
Scratch,
not.
scratch.
The quality of the
Well,
film does not matter.
Yeah.
Or the motivations into the film do not matter in terms of it becoming a cult classic. It's really just a certain kind of magic, right place, right time kind of thing.
And it's the audience.
And
That's
entirely
what we
the
call it a
audience.
cult.
So if you're listening to this and you haven't gone to see The Room, go and see it, or if you've seen it, you send us your thoughts. Cinemageek@gmail.com.
Has anybody actually read
It's all about
The book? No,
I will
Really?
read it when it comes to Audible. I would read it.
Isn't it? I thought it was. I have
Oh,
the
is it?
book.
Is it? Audible?
I have it. If you
Who reads it?
Is it
Greg
Sestero?
All right. I'll go
Because he
find
does
it.
a very nice
All right.
comedy.
All right, I'll
He
find
does
it.
an excellent.
All right, I needed a new book, so.
Speaking of
It's
books,
a great book.
speaking of books,
Please tell me this has to do with Ernest Klein.
no. Lionsgate Vice President Chairman Michael Burns has indicated that the studio is exploring developing prequels to its Hunger Games franchise. Get my segue now?
Hold
Get
on.
my segue? Yeah, I know.
No,
I'm getting to it, and I'm getting to anger. Zach, no, Zach. Let me finish my story.
Mr. Burns was quoted as saying,
Hicks. Burns made the disclosure Tuesday at UBS Global Media and Communications Conference in New York, saying that the franchise will live on and on.
There it is again.
Stop,
Here.
stop.
everybody but Sheriff.
But Burns gave no specific details as to what form that would take. The fourth film, The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2, is trailing the other movies in the series at the same point of release, with a 200 $300 million.
Did you hear that?
Burns?
It's dollar signs. I can hear them. It's cash register. Off the jail. Money.
Where's the
Yeah. Where is that? Yeah.
Someone said
squeaky
money.
bottle? Now will you let me
I like
make my
this
story?
idea.
I like that
Threat.
we're missing the fact that Zach likes to be sprayed with water. That's the only reason
Maybe
we could possibly
so.
continue.
I just wanted to
like
say
this.
that.
Burns noted that the first two films contained arenas where the 74th and 75th versions of the Hunger Games competitions took place, while the second two did not, and said younger fans missed the arenas in the later pits. If we went backwards, there would obviously be arenas.
So
Other than Burns' comments, Lionsgate has not officially announced any spin-offs from the franchise, which is based on Suzanne Collins' highly successful trilogy of the dystopian novels. Lionsgate agreed to come on board the project in 2009 after producer Nina Jacobson had acquired the movie rights. Jennifer Lawrence was cast. Burns told Variety, "Whatever extensions of the Hunger Games brand we pursue, the intent is not to glorify violence by arbitrarily telling arena stories, but to continue Suzanne Collins' exploration of the concepts of just war theory." No, they're not exploiting violence. They're exploiting the story.
Yeah.
So
It was a
It's not
prequel
like
already.
the
The whole
whole
battle royale.
just so blatantly.
It's
for
so
no reason.
I
awful.
told you, man. I'm
I don't
carrying
think it's
dollar
going to be
signs.
awful. I don't think it will be awful because you know what? You kind of want to go back to. I kind of want to envision what it was like before Pan Am was formed.
Well, I would like
it's
to
not
know
that there
that
couldn't
story,
be
but I'm not
interesting
gonna do that.
stories.
But that would be
Everybody-
that's not what we're
You guys,
gonna
we're
do.
having one of those nights where everybody wants to talk
Yeah.
at the same time.
The problem with that theory, and I completely agree, like the creation, the world building, how did this world get made?
Arenas.
That's not what this story says. That's not what this news article says that they want. They want more Hunger Games.
We'll have 2 arenas in every field.
Well,
What's better than 2 arenas?
Okay.
3 arenas.
But think about it. Go back and look at. I would love to see Haymitch's Hunger Games or like previous people's
I
Hunger Games.
wouldn't, because that ruins his character.
I would.
See, to me,
I
okay,
love the mysteriousness of his character.
here's the only way that I think this would be okay. If they did it like Planet of the Apes, where we had the Planet of the Apes trilogy, but then we went back and found out how this planet came to be. I would like to find the story of like how Pan Am came
Is
to be.
Katniss going to travel back in time?
No, I don't want Katniss.
Leave
No more
a
Katniss.
child?
No
Because
more
that's how the
Katniss.
Planet Apes franchise works.
but
The
No,
Patriots went
talk-
back in time.
Oh,
Wait,
that's
wait.
true. Those guys did.
If you look at Jennifer Lawrence's face throughout the last movie, you can tell she's done
not.
this franchise. She
No.
doesn't wanna
But
do
they're
it
not
anymore.
going to do
But-
Katniss, anything
Yeah.
to do with Katniss. It's more so about the Hunger Games, about game makers, about creation. I would love to see like more aspects of the Hunger Games, of like them
How did they make the first Hunger Games?
creating like the different things.
Thank you,
that
KJ.
happen.
KJ agrees with us.
I don't think it. Maybe I would read maybe some informational material like appendices about here's the history of the
I
Hunger
don't
Games.
like to read. Did
that's
you
like-
say you don't read?
No, I said I don't know how to read. But I do.
We're not saying. Listen, we're not saying that we're necessarily for this these prequels. We're just saying if they did it, this is how they should do it because this is the only way that it would be
Well,
kosher.
that's the key. I mean, there's not that there's not good stories that could be told in this world. It's a very interesting world. I mean, I could kind of like you. It's kind of going back and seeing how they come up with the whole idea of the Hunger Games, how they sold it, how they got people to go along with it.
Or even like
But
how they
it's-
created Tracker Jackers.
But that's not what this guy's saying. That's not what you're going to get.
No.
It's like they're taking the movies and looking at, well, the first one 2 did great, and the second 2 didn't do so hot.
well,
What was in the first 2 that wasn't in the second
but
2?
here's
The
what-
games.
But here's what I could see about the prequels. They focused on, because we got to see some of the victors from previous Hunger Games. If they focused on those characters, because they're not going to be the same people they were after the Hunger Games, because the Hunger Games changed them.
Oh,
So to
Well-
go back and look at Haymitch before he went through the Hunger Games, and he became a drunk and a dark brooding soul, to see like a character transition from that to that.
that would likely be
Well,
interesting.
and here's
but
the
it's
thing. Here's the
not
thing you
what
guys
I'm
aren't
talking
taking
about
from his
repeating.
quotes is he's not focused on us.
Yeah.
What did a 13-year-old
Yeah.
want to see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hunger Games, more fights, more of the Hunger Games stuff. Now, the best part of this for me that we also haven't talked about is there's no source material to base that movie on, so it's got to be better than the last 2 that we saw.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
And it's open to
That's
creativity.
not
It's
Not
I-
very good logic, Stephen.
I'm telling you, and you didn't see the third one. That
I didn't see the
It
second.
was.
Or the-
Oh, the second one was good. I liked the second one.
Well, here's the difference. I didn't like the first one, so I didn't see it.
Oh, that's right.
I
I
didn't
didn't
either.
like
Shut up,
either.
because you're wrong.
So the worst part is the Hobbit, where the stuff that didn't have original material to base it off of.
Yeah, that's true.
I would like to see the very first Hunger Games. I don't think they should go back into like the kind of future. I think they
Like
should
the
go back.
50th?
Yeah, I think they should go back to the very first Hunger Games and let's see how that stuff went down. That would be cool. And plus, it would be that much closer to where we are now presently in time.
You know what?
That would be
So
fascinating.
ultimately, you know what this is going to lead to, right?
Yeah.
Eventually, like, everybody loved the arenas, and they loved the actual Hunger Games in the first two movies.
Yeah.
So now we're just going to have movies that are just the Hunger Games. Eventually, we're going to have live-action renditions of the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
And then eventually, down the line, it's just going to happen.
And we're just
that's
gonna have
what
the
they're
Hunger
gonna,
Games.
that's what they do
Yay!
with people on death row. They'll just throw them into an arena.
I volunteer
Well,
you
we
this
want that
tribute.
to happen.
Well,
Oh,
yeah, that's love right there.
If this comes back to close to our time period, instead of the Hunger Games when we have things like the Nissan Games or the Hunger Games for
That's
the
true.
Rusty Arena,
Exactly.
Well,
Or, no. Well, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
if you want to
It's
do
not gonna
world
work.
building,
I can already tell the way you were going to say that joke was
to be honest with you, one of the two segments of the Animatrix did it best, where they took like 35 minutes and just told the history of the Matrix.
Do it.
Why not do
animated.
that? Yeah,
That'd be cool.
do a 35-minute like
I think,
animated or live
I think
action.
an Animatrix version of the Hunger Games would actually be fantastic.
that would be
Yes.
really cool.
That way, they
Well,
can
it's summed
I don't
up
think they'll
short.
do it because it's not going to be a big money maker.
But
Like the
listen.
Animatrix wasn't ultimately like hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars.
This is
But
what's
it would
going to
be really
happen.
cool to focus on vignettes, different games, history, and all that stuff. I think it would be. I would love that,
If-
but not the audience.
Yeah, if they don't do the prequel movies, what's going to happen is it's going to sit on the shelf for a while, and then the CW is going to make a TV series that's exactly what's going to happen.
Well, another
Mark my words.
Another
is this
problem-
universe any more deserving of this than a lot of geek-friendly universes? I'd much rather see something in the Firefly universe, like sit around that kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like, it's just
I'm-
not that interesting.
Well,
of a universe.
unfortunately, Firefly has not made the money that
Yeah,
Hunger Games
well,
has.
yeah.
that is a
The only other problem you have with this is that you have the law of dwindling returns. The first film did good, the second film did better, the third film didn't do as good as the first film, and the fourth one didn't do as well as the third
Then we
one.
rectify that. We make a fifth film.
Well, it
you
doesn't
get
do
what
as well as
happens.
you make a prequel with half the budget and you make half the money, but you're still in the
It's
goal.
the
But
horror,
it's
it's
gonna
a
be-
horror movie for me.
It's going to be more of an action film.
I mean, to be honest with
Ooh,
you,
that
as a
means we're not
person
Hunger Games in space.
as
We're
a
in the
person who
something.
hasn't read these books, I'm done with this series. I'm done with it.
Yeah,
I'm tired of
I-
the world. I'm
this-
tired of the people.
I agree,
I'm tired
it's
of
over.
everything.
Well, like
about
I said, even the people who were in the movie, you could kind of tell.
it. You
they
can
were
tell
done
they're
with it.
done.
Yeah,
Everybody's done with this.
Why,
Let's
why,
just move
why,
on.
Well, that's
why don't
why-
we get some Harry Potter stuff going? Those movies
Well,
make money.
yeah,
And they are getting that one there too.
I
But
would
think
love to
about
see more.
why you
And
are
we are
done.
getting more
And
Harry
you're
Potter
getting
stuff.
more of it, and it's
Fun.
probably going to
It's
be
about
more.
time.
Think about why you all are done is because, I mean, has everyone read the books? Have you read the books?
Yes, I read the
Okay.
books. They were
You read
horrible.
the books. You knew what was coming. You knew what was coming.
The books.
What?
The Hunger Games books are
No.
What?
Harry Potter, that's why.
Oh.
What started this being done with Hunger Games is because people lost interest because of the third movie.
Yes.
It was just straight material, no action.
Well,
I wasn't really going to be that interested in the last movies anyway because I do know the ending.
well, and
It's
that's
the ending.
because the source material is bad.
Yeah.
But I think if we were to, I wouldn't say you're done with the franchise because if they were to come back
I'm
up,
done with it.
the best things you liked were the actions of the arena.
No,
Am
the
I
best
wrong?
things
You said
I
that to
liked
me,
were
Steven.
actually fixing
You
the
said that.
problems of
So
the
if
first
they-
film and raising the stakes.
Zach, no one
Shooting
cares
in
your
IMAX.
opinion. No
That's
one
true.
Ah.
That's the best thing you said the whole time.
So they're sitting here talking. Okay, we'll go back to if we were to do prequel, let's go back to an arena
Yeah,
adventure.
but you know-
you would be interested in.
Well, wait,
that.
no, but wait. Here's the thing. The reason that those sequences are so great for me is in the first two movies, they did such a good job of building up my investment in the people that were in that arena. If they just start throwing Michael Bay style arena battles at me, like they did the Transformers movies, I'm gonna like. I'm gonna get up and walk out halfway through when Catherine calls me to go drink.
It works
Which
this
is what I
way.
did in the last Transformers movie.
Two is typically regarded as the best movie.
Yeah.
It would not be as good without one.
Yeah.
Because you had a movie of investment in
Yes.
building the characters.
Mhm.
So I see the point.
So if they were.
But ultimately, I think we should go on because we have other stories to talk
It's
about.
true.
We do, Nathan.
In fact, Nathan has the next story.
Francis Ford Coppola has expressed disappointment that his friend George Lucas went mainstream with the Star Wars saga. I think Star Wars, it's a pity, because George Lucas was a very experimental, crazy guy, and he got lost in this big production and never got out of it, Coppola said at the
Coppola needs to shut up.
Marrakech International Film Festival. I still hope that he made so much money out of it that he will just make some little movies, he continued. He promises me that he will.
I like to see that exchange. Like
Yeah.
George Lucas is like, I promise, Francis, I'm gonna make some movies.
Buddy,
I promise. I'm doing it. I'm doing it, man.
Yeah, all over.
Lucas directed. Why have I not heard of this?
THS.
THX 1130. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard that.
That's where the
What?
THX sound system
Yeah,
comes
yeah.
from.
THX 1138.
Okay. THX 1138 American Graffiti before helming Star Wars, after which his directional output slowed until the prequels began in the
Slowed, you
late
mean
1990s.
Directorial.
The Walt Disney Company purchased Lucasfilm, including Star Wars, in 2012. Lucas recently saw the new Disney-produced film, saying he really liked the film and that fans will love it.
Didn't we just have an article like a couple weeks ago
He
where
said
Where he said,
was
like,
so
ugh.
butthurt about.
Oh my God,
Based
the
on
baby! They didn't want my ideas. They just said they wanted something the fans will like.
So
Is that George Lucas's
yes.
voice?
So, well, George Lucas's voice is more like.
That's true. That's better
Yeah,
impersonation.
based on his previous articles, I can just see Lucas. Yeah, I really liked it. The fans will love it.
Yeah,
Roll
exactly.
his eyes.
That's my favorite. The fans will love it.
The thing is, my Alzheimer's kicked in. I said some stupid crap the last 2 weeks. So I better say something nice.
The thing is, if George Lucas came out and
Red tails, red
said,
tails.
Disney's PR team would own him. If Lucas came out and said, I hated it, I think the fans will hate it.
They could
I
do-
imagine
no.
there are clauses in the contracts.
He can't say
Yeah.
he hates it. He can't even says he doesn't like it.
Yeah, maybe
That's why I don't take his word for anything. Steven Spielberg said it was
Well,
great.
but you know,
Steven
you-
Spielberg also said The Phantom Menace was awesome.
In the end, you can't take anybody's word for it.
No.
It's in
Has Francis
Hollywood.
Ford Coppola seen it yet? I would
No,
trust
they-
his opinion.
He's a kooky guy still. I would trust his opinion.
I know, I would trust his opinion. And
Yeah.
those two were besties. You know what they did together?
The
They
first-
did Captain EO
Yes, we
together.
all
The
know
first
they did.
person who says, I hate Star Wars The Force Awakens is going to get massacred. They're going to get crucified.
the first like Hollywood person.
Hollywood
Yes.
person, yeah.
Like, not critic.
You know, that whole Francis Ford Coppola.
Well, the first critic will probably get eviscerated
a
by
good
fans,
amount of crap thrown on.
but not by like Disney or anything.
no,
Yeah.
but like the first Hollywood person will get crucified and never work again.
That's not true. Only if they're connected to Disney.
No,
Yeah.
that's not true.
Yeah.
You will never work with Disney.
It depends when. It depends when they say it, and it depends on the general public reaction to
I
that.
mean,
If they
it's-
said opening weekend first
Is it
showing,
really
I
that?
think it's
I mean, if
disgusting.
somebody comes out and criticizes,
And if
it,
all
is it
social
that big a
media
deal?
also said it, they'd probably be okay. But if they said it and everybody else was glowing,
I mean,
about
is it really? I mean, is it really that big a deal if somebody comes out and says they don't like it?
Dude,
If it-
do you
I
I mean,
remember
if
when
one person says that, is they want to stop the juggernaut? Is Disney?
No, because
going to
everybody else is like,
fans-
you're stupid.
Yeah.
the fans will
Hey,
rip
The
apart.
fans will.
I'm saying, like, when Dark Knight Rises came out and
how do
some
you say that
negative
word?
reviews
Appropriate?
came out,
Appropriate?
There was a comment
But,
section on Rotten Tomatoes when you could comment on people's reviews. After Dark Knight Rises, because some negative reviews came out, they took that feature
But you know
away
what? You know
because
what?
people were getting
But listen,
massive.
you know, you should know this, but you don't actually see the PR exchanges. I just give you
No.
guys stuff to review.
No.
You want to know the difference between when you say something positive and you say something negative? If you say something positive, you review something positive, the email I get back says, thanks so much for your review, I really appreciate it. I'll let you know when the next thing comes out. A negative review just says thanks. I still get the next thing, though. I still get it, and they don't care. Press is press.
Press
They
is
don't care
press.
in the end. You know, because what's going to happen
You
is some
should,
kids-
not be a total asshole about it.
yeah, literally, that's it almost makes me laugh because when I get from a couple different PR firms, I can tell because it just says thanks. That's all it says. But if it's a glowing review, then I get like 2 or 3 lines. I mean, because the fact is, it doesn't matter. If Harrison Ford could come out and say, "This movie sucks. I hated being in it," that would get me fascinated. I would want to go see the movie, and it will be that way for a lot of people.
Just to see how bad it is.
Yeah, there's no negative. There's no negative press.
Well,
Really.
I guess we'll find out when it comes out. What's the next
In
story?
8 days.
Oh, 8
All right.
days. 8
Yeah.
days.
Days.
TV.
And television. Dexter alum Scott Buck has been tapped as the showrunner for Marvel's Iron Fist on Netflix. Marvel announced this week, quote, Iron Fist. Actually, that's not a quote. It's just the title. Iron Fist.
He's too
quotation
excited.
marks.
He's excited.
Iron Fist is the 4th series due as part of Marvel TV's mega deal with Netflix, which has put out Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and we'll see Luke Cage coming out in 2016. Following Iron Fist, all 4 heroes will unite in the Defenders miniseries. This one is a quote. Scott came in with a take on Iron Fist that has quite simply knocked us off our feet, according to Marvel's head of TV, Jeff Loeb, who will also serve as an executive producer with Buck. He continues, we always look for the most creative minds in the field to help us bring our heroes to life, and with Scott, we found someone that can deliver yet another great series in the ongoing story of the Defenders.
What I want to know is if whoever they get to play Iron Fist, they can handle that chest hair.
Or lack thereof.
Yeah, like they're up, yeah. I guess they got to wax.
Buck, who was the showrunner on
I
Dexter.
have a picture of Iron Fist in the comics up.
Buck, who was the showrunner on Dexter for 4 years. I wonder which 4.
Yeah, because it makes a huge difference.
Every other
which
one.
It does.
Yeah.
Commented.
First 4 or
First,
last
3rd, 5th, and
4?
7th.
No, you're
I don't, yeah. Has commented, quote, I've always been drawn to writing complex, intriguing characters, and that's what most excites me about the opportunity to bring Danny Rand and Iron Fist to life with Marvel on Netflix.
I'm excited because everything they're doing is just great. Nathan finished Jessica Jones.
Watched it in 2 days and it was amazing. It was amazing. Kilgrave really had me jacked up.
Literally.
Like,
Better than off.
no, I got another person to get that off.
Oh,
Yeah.
Off camera. All right. So, yeah.
Yeah, it does kind of depend on the seasons of Dexter.
It
But-
does, because Dexter did not end well.
I never watched Dexter. It wasn't something I got into. I did
The
like...
first few seasons of Dexter were fantastic.
Yeah, and I like the general concept. It's just not a show I dived into. But I'm really excited, especially given the pedigree that we now have established with Daredevil and Jessica Jones, and even partially with Luke Cage now with his appearance in Jessica Jones. I am super thrilled to see Iron Fist also.
I haven't had a chance to take a look at it yet, but footage has been released from Daredevil of Punisher also.
I
see it?
I haven't seen footage of Punisher. I've seen the teaser that came out, like teased Punisher, but he wasn't really in it. So I haven't seen anything new if anything's been released lately.
Wait, the trailer that I loved of Jessica Jones is the one where she woke up and crushed the alarm clock.
Yeah.
Was that ever in the show?
No,
No.
it was just a teaser.
That was like the greatest teaser ever for her.
I think it was
But
really
she's used the alarm clock in several
Didn't she
scenes.
shove it up, or
She
threw it at the
like,
ceiling?
She threw it at the ceiling, and there was already a bunch of holes
Yeah.
and pock marks.
Yeah.
That's something I liked about a lot of the promotion of Jessica Jones. Going into it, they had those teasers and those short little things. They weren't actually footage of the show, but it was enough to give you an idea of this is what the show's about. We're not spoiling anything about the series for you, and you're going to really like it.
Dwayne, I bet you finished it. Just saying.
All you need is 13 hours.
Yeah, I made my way halfway through it. And I stopped at a good point. I just need to finish it up.
You do, so we can really get spoiler around here.
Yeah.
All right, Nathan, you can story.
Norman Reedus, the actor who plays Daryl Dixon on AMC's The Walking Dead, was bitten by a fan at a zombie convention. this
Well,
weekend.
perfect.
According to TMZ,
How it starts,
super
everyone.
fan
Patient zero.
Robin Grover bit Reedus on the Stalker Con, informing the actor she likes to tell people the two are married. Security immediately restrained the woman and forced her to leave the convention. While Reedus isn't pressing charges, he did post a hilarious response on Instagram with the words, "Do not bite me," plastered across caption that reads, The Walking Dead 6th season.
Wouldn't it be kind of funny if that is actually how the zombie
Oh,
apocalypse
I have a
started?
picture. I'll put it up for you so you guys can see it.
This woman was crazy. I read an article that's on
There it
Facebook,
is.
and she was like a redheaded, like crazy woman.
I like that she
There you
bit him on the chest.
She bit him on the nipple, didn't she?
Yeah,
It was. It
How
wasn't.
did she get to do that?
It wasn't
Well,
like
she
an
was going-
arm, a leg, or something easily accessible.
She was standing between him and someone else, and she was right in the middle, and they went to go snap the picture, and she goes over and goes,
Wow.
yeah. And
Wow.
yeah, and he was like, what the hell? And then she
You know,
got
the Norman Reedus that Catherine and I saw was a nice guy, screen silver.
He was awesome. He was really, really sweet. So
Well, you know he's gonna get that nipple bit.
well,
Not
you
the
know,
way he
people
wanted.
are crazy.
Well, people are crazy. She obviously thinks they're married. This is just the world.
I'm surprised this doesn't happen more often.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. That's crazy.
I mean,
Which celebrity would you like to bite, Catherine?
Which celebrity would I like to bite? The nipple?
No, just in general.
Just in
It
general.
could be anywhere, not necessarily the nipple. Could be.
It could be anywhere. Which celebrity? Wait, is this like a playful like ooh bite, or is this like I don't like to bite?
What kind of bite?
This is more of a
Did they
playful
go into
bite.
the detail to explain what kind of bite
It has to be more of a playful bite.
It's
and this is
like-
like go for the jugular, rip out the throat kind of bite.
I'm guessing it's the more playful one.
It's
The,
the-
Okay, so
Because it's for the
playful.
nipple. Yeah. Yes.
the more affectionate biting.
Okay, so the more affectionate biting, and if I'm going to like bite their nipple playfully and like be shoved out for it, I think it would probably be Robert Downey Jr. because I know that he would laugh it off and be like, "Why'd you bite my effing nipple? Get rid of this crazy girl," and then he'd make a joke about it on
I
Instagram
don't
later.
think he would laugh at all.
All right, Nathan, Nico, what's your answer to that question? What celebrity would you bite the nipple?
What Blu-rays get out this week?
Yeah. I can do that very easily. For those who don't know, I know that I'm vision impaired. I am, so I would go for Dolly Parton because it's a big party.
Touche. Touche.
You know who I wouldn't bite? Ronald McDonald, because I bet he tastes funny.
Yeah. All right, Blu-rays this week. Minions 2D and 3D versions, if you want that. Ant-Man 2D and 3D, but why would you? When you can buy the Cinematic Universe Phase 2 limited edition. It says limited edition, but the original one did too, right? The first
Yeah,
one.
I think so.
But can you still buy it?
I think you can actually. It's still on
So
Amazon.
it's not that limited.
Well,
I
yeah,
only trust limited editions when it is numbered.
Yeah.
I mean, every
It was limited
Disney
to
movie that
30
comes out is
million.
now a limited collector's edition.
Disney will do that stuff though. They will pull something and keep it for
Inside
years.
Out.
Yeah. Well,
Inside Out,
No.
limited collector's edition is the 3D edition.
No, but they've done that with like Snow White and some
Oh
other.
yeah, they're ball.
They pull
take
out
the
the
ball.
ball.
Yeah. All right. So
Which
also
they're just coming out with the new Snow White Blu-ray. So
Hannibal season 3. I
Nice,
think
Snow
that show
White.
got canceled.
Yeah, it's the ending. From my understanding, they didn't wrap it up because they knew it was ending.
And then Transporter Refueled on Blu-ray.
Which does not have Jason Statham in it.
Nobody wanted to put a movie out in competition with Marvel.
Question.
Yes.
Do we really need Hannibal wrapped up? We know how it ends.
It's true.
Well, I mean,
It's true.
I think the show ends with getting Hannibal where he is for Silence of the Lambs.
Incorrect.
You know what I love the most that's happening during this
Oh,
entire
right.
show?
It might be for where he
If
is
you were
right
watching
now.
the video of this show, the video feed, Nico can't keep his hands off the orb.
So the thing I noticed about the Power
It's
Rangers,
like
it's a good magnifier.
oh,
Yeah, see, it's
That's
magnifying the text pretty well.
It's usually Nathan that can't keep his hands off the big ball.
It's power. I have power in my hands.
Okay.
By the way, John said that he would bite Oprah because she has so much money that she probably made her skin taste like chocolate.
That's true.
That is interesting.
How would you bring
There's a fascinating theory.
It
Good luck testing that one out.
Comic books.
I have
is
seen
weird.
hygiene products that make
Give me that
certain
ball.
taste
Tell
like
me what the comics are.
There we go.
From comics, for Marvel, we have all new Hawkeye #2,
My
Amazing,
precious.
Amazing Spider-Man #4, Hercules #2, Scarlet
Oh,
Witch
Mormons, right.
#1, and Secret Wars #8. This is the second to last issue. From DC, we have Batman 47. We have Batman meets the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1 of 6. Catwoman #47, Grayson #15, and Starfire #7. And other titles, we have Abe Sapien #29, The Art of Fallout 4,
Here's the great Secret Wars #8.
Back to the Future #3, Star Trek Green Lantern #66, and Walking Dead 149.
That's the really real.
So
Secret
Steven
Wars.
has on the video screen Secret Wars #8, the original Secret Wars #8, which is the appearance of the black suit.
And
Spider-Man.
the only valuable comic in that whole series.
Yes, every other issue in that is worthless.
Yeah,
Except
that one's
that
worth
one.
like $12.
No, it's more.
It's actually worth more than that.
Yeah,
But okay, so
I got the first appearance in Amazing Spider-Man with that.
I guess I'll.
Question.
Yes.
Why did we skip film ball numbers?
Did we?
Oh yeah, you did.
Well, let's do those. I'm happy.
No, I don't know. It's getting pretty late. We've
Yeah,
got a long
let's
time.
do that. Let's
It's
do
been a
that.
long
Oh, that's right. I'm surprised Hector's not typing in the chat. Go, where's my numbers?
I don't see Hector.
He already
No,
left.
He must have dropped. Yeah.
He was like, screw it. They're not talking about the numbers.
Okay, so here's the film ball numbers for the week, and we're nearly done. We only have 2 movies left in the bracket 2, so they're almost finished. December.
What is?
Yeah. So here we go. Currently, I am at $404 million.
Okay.
Zach is at $0. Nico is at $143 million. And Nathan is at $386 million. I think you actually have a movie coming up, Nico. I think you have something.
I think I just don't
Yeah,
remember
I
what.
think you might actually have the next 2.
I think I may have Alvin and the Chipmunks.
I'm pretty sure that's the one. Yeah. So okay, here bracket 2. Catherine is at $302 million. Let's see. Hector is at $386 million. Stephanie's at $199. Mike is at $191. Still in the bottom. He'll come crawling back to main bracket the next time. But Ada is at $418 million.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's not only beating Hector
She's
now, she's
stomping.
crushing it.
Dang,
$32
winning.
million. Yeah. So
It's about time, woman.
And so if I look at the list of remaining films, let's see, I have that right here. For November, the only things left are Hunger Games has 1 additional week, which is just going to further take her in the lead because Ada has Hunger Games. Creed has 2 more weeks. Good Dinosaur has 2 more weeks. And Victor Frankenstein has 2 more weeks. But it's out of the top 20. That one's gone.
It's called Dead on Arrival.
Yeah, it's only made in its first 2 weeks $5 million, so it's not really helping anybody. But this game is going to finish fairly soon. I mean, really, technically, I think the game is really done for both of us because Nico has the last 2 movies, and they will not be enough for him to break 400 million.
I don't know.
Alvin
and
and
Chipmunks.
Point Break.
Yeah.
The last 2 movies, other than Star Wars. So we just have to see what happens with Star Wars. But I just don't see $800 million happening in the 4 weeks. Maybe. Could it?
I mean, it could, but
Could
it's
it?
highly unlikely.
We'll wait and
Highly
see.
unlikely, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
how long did it take Avatar to hit 1 billion?
I don't know.
Several months.
Yeah, a lot
Yeah,
more.
it took a long time.
But it
yeah.
did like 60 million each weekend.
Yeah.
For like
I mean,
8.
so I mean, this thing's going to open at $200 million, $250 million maybe.
Well, and it is going to go over Christmas too. So.
Yeah, it is. It is. There's other things coming up.
It
Christmas.
could hit. It could hit 500 million
It could.
over
So
4 weeks.
So, well, but see, that's not
That's
enough.
not enough.
Because
Yeah.
that's $250 each for Dwayne and Zach. So
We'll just see how the
the
numbers
only
go.
way they can even get close is if it hits 800 million, and they split the 400 apiece, then it gets close to catching
If
up.
they
just
hit
have to
800
see.
million in 4 weeks, I'm going to crap myself.
Yeah, I mean,
because-
both. We'll sit here on the podcast and we'll say, now it's time.
Well,
Let's just
if,
say
if it does that, we'll all probably crap ourselves next Thursday night because that means it's that damn good.
That damn good. Yeah.
How about this? If it does, let's just say Jurassic World numbers, which is $208 million opening weekend,
Yeah.
and usually you have around 50% drop per weekend.
Oh,
So that's
each,
350 million
Mm-hmm.
conservative numbers
Yeah, for the first 2 weeks.
for the first 2.5 weeks.
And
You're
then
still splitting it,
and
so.
then it hits another 75 the week after, so that's 425. So you're,
I think
500
what's
million
really
the
gonna
first 4
help
weeks.
it
That's
is
conservative, though.
Yeah.
over the Christmas
You're
holiday.
probably still going to end up doing better than me.
Yeah, you're still gonna beat Mike, which is hilarious.
Not
Mike
100%
loses in
crap.
our game and then goes to the bracket 2 and loses to everybody.
Say no, over the last
I think that was
6 months.
The
I've
people-
lost to
The people,
everyone.
game-wise, that I'm most impressed with is actually Ada and Catherine, because you guys both had good games
Yeah.
this time.
Eh.
And you can be happy you lost to Ada.
Oh no, I'm happy I lost to Ada. Just like, meh,
Losing to Mike,
I don't care.
losing to Nathan.
At
is not
least it's not Alan.
This is
Elise?
fun. Elise.
At least,
Feliz
not,
Navidad.
at least
Feliz Navidad.
All right.
All right, so we'll be scheduling our next bidding by the end of this month. We have to. So, because stuff's happening 1st of January. So
Can
we'll be, what?
Can we just have best of 2015 like in January?
Well, that's when it would probably have to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know
we-
sometimes that we try to get it in like the last week.
No, there's no way because there's still movies coming out on Christmas Day.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, it's
So I don't
always,
have to absolutely rush.
Best of 2015 usually happens first or second week of January.
What have you not seen?
I've
All the movies coming out on December 25th.
Yeah,
Star
because we're
Wars.
road tripping.
He hasn't seen Star Wars yet.
And we're road tripping in 2 hours to see the 70mm print of
What day is that?
What?
The Hateful Eight.
It opens on Christmas.
So you're going to go on Christmas to watch it, or?
Bye, everyone.
I don't know
You
if
want
I
Christmas,
can
I'm
go
out.
on Christmas.
No, we can't do Christmas Day.
Yeah.
We got to do it another day.
Because I'm screwed on the weekends and I don't know what my
I don't
schedule's
need
going
to
to
know.
be
That's
like.
perfect.
So
I don't need to know.
So,
All right.
I might be making a solo trip, which might suck. Or Steven might just have to do hooky at work.
I can do it. For that, I'll do it.
Okay.
All right.
will it be open, like, the 70mm is going to be in Knoxville, but will it be open regular release everywhere else?
No, it opens
Yeah.
regular release
In January.
January 8th.
Well, then I probably won't see it before then.
Okay. Plus the 70mm print's like 3 hours, right?
It is 3 hours and 8 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's
Epic.
longer
Yeah.
with an intermission.
And the only
a-
way you'll be able to see it is the full uncut movie is if you see the 70mm. So we have to do it.
I'm 90% sure they're not going to show this version on Blu-ray.
I don't know about that. I wouldn't hold the breath.
I-
Although we
Chances
never
are
got
never
the
done
Kill
it.
Bill 1 and 2 combined
Yeah.
thing that we were supposed to get.
They said this version is for the 70mm. It's supposed to be seen big. You're not going to get it
Yeah.
at home. That's why it leads me to believe they're not going to show it on.
Or,
Blu-ray.
well, you know, he likes that whole roadshow thing. It could be one of those things that comes out every 5 years.
Yeah,
or
I
something. It
think so.
tours the 70mm theaters.
That's
again.
possible.
All right, Nico.
You can find me on all finer social networks as Nico String.
Dwayne.
Find me around the internet at drworm75. That's drworm75.
Find me at CultureSmash.tv, of course, and I've actually been posting to closechitwood.com too. So
Yeah, it was cute. You were on Facebook this week. Yeah, one time. Because you commented on Nathan's picture.
oh yeah, have you been thinking?
I sat in traffic.
All right, Catherine.
You can find me at Catherine May Holder. My middle name is spelled M-A-I. And you can also find me at Ms. Katie and Friends, M-I-Z-Z-K-T and Friends, spelled with a Z, because I think I'm cool.
That's right. I didn't get a chance to look at the lemon thing today. I want to look at it.
It's really cute. My Puggle Maddie tells everybody what is the fruit and what is not the fruit.
Nice.
I'm getting better at all these.
I like
They're starting to look better. Because some of them look pretty jank. But at least they're out there.
That's what makes them fun.
And you're cleaning your backgrounds better too.
I didn't know you had to bleach the sink. I'm not good at cleaning.
It's a white sink, you bleach it.
Hey, I feel your pain.
Like a
I'm not good at
butthole.
cleaning either.
Like
Yeah,
a butthole,
like a
you
butthole.
bleach it.
I didn't know sinks were like buttholes.
Well, you know,
They
if
are.
you see stuff
They're
in
the
the sink, you
butthole.
just
They're
bleach
the
it.
second butthole of the bathroom. There's two.
That's why they call it a garbage disposal.
yeah, exactly. You put it down the garbage disposal and you turn it on.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't bleach the garbage disposal.
Oh, no, you can bleach that too.
Yeah, you do.
I thought you did that to
Because,
keep it from
The
stinking.
smell. Yeah, it
Yeah.
kills the.
Either that or you gotta get those tablets.
I had those too. Those are cool.
Well, there we go.
You
All
can
right.
find me at Nate70471 on Instagram, Facebook, Nathan Savino. You can find me at Delta Airlines, serving peanuts, pretzels, and cookies and saving your life on a daily basis.
Especially saving the life of customers who have peanut allergies that you have food peanuts.
Yeah.
Why would you ask for peanuts, you dolt?
Is that where you get to use that big, huge needle like in Pulp Fiction?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
the lip, and then that goes in the side of the
Oh,
leg.
that's so fun.
You might be able to pop a feel while that was.
I'm bad at you.
See, baby Mike.
I'm a bad person.
That's right. All right. Speaking of bad people, Zach. You can find
Aw.
Don't give him any sympathy.
That's true.
me. You can. That's my boob. You can find me. But you can find it.
Show's over, kids.
You can find me on Instagram at @Master71. You can also find me on Steam at Dangerous and Lunatic, and you can find me trying to overcome the hype for Star Wars.
Zachary,
It's getting
if we can get a
intense.
little bit more articulation so they can understand where to find you. Actually, they don't even care where to find
Hey,
you.
just be glad that he's not making that whole Facebook speech
You
again.
can also find me on Facebook, Zach Martin. If you can find me, please send me a message saying who you are.
You told me to do it.
I didn't. I said at least.
Wait, and what have you learned?
What
have
did you just
learned,
learn?
Matt?
You don't.
Don't make me put your nose in your piss again.
You don't. We rotate
Strangers in the
Alps.
No, this is what happened.
Okay.
This is what happens, Larry.
When you meet a
All right,
stranger,
so you can find me at everything CultureSmash, Facebook, Instagram. Instagram is fun because I put pictures of review things coming. Although I can't put pictures of the latest things because they're not porn movies, but they
They
still
still have
have
stickers over them.
they have topless women on it. I don't want to.
Oh, that would be fun. Let's find some. We can find
Does it-
pictures of cats and put over it.
Does an Instagram have
What is this anyway?
That's a USB drive.
Oh, that's a hard drive. Yeah. All right, so yeah, just go and if you want to
Hello,
play
nurse.
in Stoneball with us in the
What
next
the
round.
Harris?
Come on.
Sorry.
Respect. Yeah, cinegeek@gmail.com. Drop us an email and say I want to play in Stoneball, and we will. That's an old movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I just reordered it because someone that we all know borrowed my copy 3 years ago and never gave it back. So anyway, we will see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.